Um, Hello. I'm here with tips and tricks for Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and, well, the first tips and trick that I'll tell you is, if you're first starting off and if you want to just, like, have a character to just unlock stuff from the very beginning, so, you know, you don't have to work on a second character and everything, I'd recommend a Sand. The Sand is the most powerful and broken thing in this game, and at one point, if you get this very set up, well, first off, as a Sand, and really as anyone, this game is very, put like this, the ultimate attacks are very, very strong, and you would really want to use your ki. This game is very, it's more like you don't have a death ball with really high ki blast, and you're practically worthless in these missions. So, as you can see, I believe you can go get to like 100 or maybe more in a certain skill. I'm only at 50 with my Kid Broly. However, yeah, that's because I put stuff towards all my other skills, as you can see. So yeah, the number one skill that you would probably want to upgrade as a Saiyan would be this. And I'll explain that later, but next attribute that's important would probably be your attack. Your basic attack is important because besides Ki Blast and besides, you know, using up Ki, that all takes up, you know, Ki. And if you have basic attack damage, all you have to do is basically do combos. You don't even have to do combos, really. You could just smash buttons and you'll do insane amount of damage. And thing is, with basic attack, it kind of carries over for a lot of outfits. So even if you have an outfit that boosts your basic attack and strike supers, that'll be even more. But if you have an armor like I have right now, it'll actually dumb down the damage. Your basic attack damage will still be pretty high. So that's another thing. That's the second one. And as for that, anything else. This one I find virtually useless because all of the strike supers in this game are not good. And there's not many of them. And there's not many strike ultimates either. All the ultimates are basically ki based. The strongest strike super in this game I could possibly think of, well, ultimate, is the Spirit Sword, which takes a while to unlock. And even then, compared to the Death Balls, it's really not worth it. Compared to Death Ball or Kum's Ultra Bomber, it's not worth it. As you can see, I only have these stats because I'm trying to make a Kid Broly, so I go with what fits Broly best. And yeah, health, you could go health, but just know that health doesn't particularly mean that it's harder for you to get hurt. It just means you have more health. So if somebody's really strong, you might have a lot of health, but they'll knock it down just as easy, so be considerate of that. Ki, this doesn't actually upgrade. It's important to know that Ki does not upgrade your damage. Ki blasts, like Ki Blast, that upgrades your super and ultimate damage with Ki, its base attacks. This, on the other hand, just upgrades how much Ki you have. And if you're a Saiyan, this doesn't really matter all too much on the fact that Super Saiyan gives you unlimited ki. Well, not unlimited ki. Super Saiyan gives you access to your ultimates at no cost, but at the same time your ki gradually goes down. And having Super Vegeta makes it really broken. So if you're a Saiyan, you could put this a little bit high, but you don't have to focus too much on that. But if you're not a Saiyan, you might want to up your ki a little bit because you don't have the resources Super Saiyan, and you actually have to be cautious of your ki, because when you run out, yeah, it's not like when you get below 3, it's not like you could just use ultimates. No, you need exactly 3. Stamina, if you do combos like me, you might want to work on stamina, but at the same time, stamina is not too, well, it is useful. Stamina gives you access to teleports. It gives you access, well, when I say teleports, I mean when you're being hit and when you are hitting. There are certain things you can do. When you're hitting, if you knock them back or if you knock them down, If you knock them down, you could teleport to them after they hit the floor for a reset combo, essentially, to start up from full damage again. Or if you knock them back, you can go continue your combos. So if you're a combo freak, you might want to use stamina. And if you know you're going to get pummeled, stamina's, yeah. It essentially helps you get away from ultimates, helps you get out of combos. This is basically, so if you want combos and if you kind of not confident that you're blocking in there, oh yeah, and also blocking takes away stamina. So overall defense, you would go for stamina. Skills, I'd have to say this is the highest charge that you can get. You start off the game with, I believe, energy charge, and you have to buy that. Next up would be this. This one is the highest one in the game, and you get this from, I believe, a pretty, like, a high-level mission. But it's really good. And how you would want to use this is whenever you're low on ki, you just hold it and it charges. It has a bit of a startup, but at the same time, if you knock someone back, you might want to charge. And I know if you knock somebody back or if you knock someone down, if they don't bounce back up immediately, then you could charge at least a good 2 bars. So Super Saiyan would essentially give you unlimited access to ultimates while also increasing the damage. And Super Vegeta is essentially Super Saiyan, but increases the damage even more on your ki-based attacks. So yeah. In this game, what you would realize is that death balls are probably... There's a lot of death balls, and death balls are the most important. I'd say probably the one that does the most damage might be this one, Supernova. You get this from Frieza as a mentor. When you max out Frieza as a mentor, Frieza gives you this. Why Frieza doesn't give you the death ball, I have no idea. And why Frieza gives you coolers, again, I have no idea. But this is essentially, I believe, the most powerful death ball. But it doesn't travel that fast or that far, I believe. So it's kind of... This is Bill's, his ultimate, his death ball. It doesn't travel that far and it's really slow. It deals damage, but again, it's not very convenient. Overall, this is the best death ball, I have to say. On the account of it's pretty fast. It travels at your opponent at a really good speed, but at like a pace where you don't have to worry about if you throw it, they will just easily like, it's a hard target to hit. This thing is big and its tracking is really, really good. So to the point where if they go behind you or something, so say during the startup of it, they're attacking and they go behind you, it will actually not go forward, but instead fly up or down backwards to hit them. So yeah, this is a pretty good death ball. It does really good damage, really fast startup. It's the best death ball in the game in my opinion. This is essentially, even though it said Vanish Ball, it's not as big and it's based on you teleporting to your enemy and hitting them with a death ball. Again, this one is a bit cautious. You might not want to use this one too much. Death Ball does a lot of damage, but it's really fast, so you have to be very careful on when you use it. Also, the startup is forever. It takes forever. This is really bad. It's really good in damage, but it's not gonna hit. So this one, this attacks lets out a wave. It's not Super 17. It's Android 17 and Android 18s, and essentially you can get it from a mission where you fight Android 18 and 17 with Piccolo and Vegeta's there, and the winning conditions for that mission is, well, the extra winning conditions is letting Vegeta and Piccolo live. This I do not use, but let it be known, escaping this is virtually impossible. It's really hard. If you're up close, you're basically getting hit by it. If you're far away, there's a chance, but it travels. I'm pretty sure it does anyway. So yeah. Super Ghost Kamikaze lets out ghosts near you. With Gotenks, it shows that you're completely invincible. during the move when you're playing these Gotenks. I'm not sure if you're completely invincible when you actually do it, but with Gotenks it is. This attack basically, it can be used defensively. So if somebody attacks you and is like, yeah, attacking you, you can use this to get them off of you. Because once the ghosts are out and when they're attacking you, the ghosts will automatically hit them and it does a lot of damage. So if you are, you know, defensive, you might want to keep this in mind. This you get from, this is Whis's. This is a good crowd control attack. As in, it uses, it uses wind, and it does a lot of damage, actually, and you can combo into it. At least I think you can combo into it. You can do a combo setup into it, I know that. So, this one is pretty good for crowd control, and it does good damage. But be aware that the actual attack itself, though it might not knock them out of the pattern at the beginning, it can knock them out of the pattern. And also, the ending to it takes a little bit of time, so be cautious of that. The other noteworthy things, this is the most worthless freaking ultimate in the game. No, actually, this is second most worthless. This is the most powerful in a game. I'm pretty sure this is the most powerful ultimate in the game. However, you have to be up close and it takes a while. As you can see, as careful, it takes time to fire. This is an up close, basically bomber. And if you're in their face, this does a lot of damage. Like an incredible amount of damage. And so I recommend this. And, well, the best part about this is, if you're first starting off the game and if you're not that high level, and if you do parallel quests but you don't have that many parallel quests, I'm pretty sure you get this pretty early. In fact, you get this around the Frieza saga, so this is something you could pick up fairly quick, and it's really, really powerful. So I'd recommend this, to the point where when you first start off the game, you want this, and even when you reach level 80 or whatever, you could still have this. It's really good. I recommend it. Second to that, in terms of beams, I'm not too sure about beams. Like, there's Vegeta's Final Flash. This is it's kind of fast. I find that the fastest beam in the game is probably the, if I can find it, fastest beam in the game is the Super Kamehameha. This beam is pretty fast and it does damage, and there's a Z-Soul which increases the damage. So if you want a beam attack that's fast, this is worth looking into. Not to mention it's the Kamehameha, so why not? However, I don't think it's the most damaging beam attack. This, I'm pretty sure, is the most damaging, to the point where you can't even block it. However, this is a very precise thing. You have to be very on the nose about this ultimate. This ultimate is very on the nose. But when it hits, it does a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure this is the most damaging beam. I'm not going to say the most damaging attack, but one of the most damaging things in the game, the special beam cannon, which you get from Piccolo as a mentor when you max out Piccolo. As for the Kamehameha, you get from Goku when you max out Goku. Yeah, there's no Spirit Bomb, that's DLC. So, the ultimates that, well, I'm not done with, there's one more ultimate that's of note, which is the Justice Combination, which you get from Gohan and Videl as a mentor. This I recommend because you can combo into it. What I mean by combo into it, I mean just about any way. Any race can combo into this, and it guarantees, which is essentially guaranteed damage. So, however, the thing is, this is a strike. It's purely melee. So, keep that in mind. So if you have basically Ki Blast and nothing on melee, this probably won't do damage. But this is a guaranteed, so if you have a character that's up close a lot, then you might want to put this on him. With this being, you can also combo into this. And this being a really powerful, the most powerful out of all those physical, yeah, you look at all the key ones, you look at